Thank you. I'm Mr. Lehner, and welcome back to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. Today we're going to focus on the ordering of operations. Now there's two key words inside there. When you think of ordering something, it's kind of the natural order something goes in. Think about reading when you talk about chronological order. It's what happened first, second, third. So with our order of operations here, we're going to decide what needs to come first, second, and third, and so on. When you think of operations in math, what do operations mean? Well, that's right. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We're going to be using those operations inside of our order of operations. Let's take a look at exactly what that means. The order of operations is a set of agreements or conventions for carrying out calculations with one or more operations, parentheses, or exponents. What? Kind of a goofy definition, right? It's got all the different parts to it, but it's a formula, and we're going to follow this formula based on some rules down here. This might be a little bit easier for you to understand. The first thing you're going to do when solving a problem that involves the order of operations, work within the parentheses. Do whatever is inside the parentheses. You're going to work that out first. Step 2, write numbers written with exponents in standard form. We're going to get into what standard form is too. 3, do all multiplication and division in order from left to right. This is very key. It doesn't matter if division comes first, if multiplication comes first, you're going to do it in order from left to right. Now keep that in mind. And then lastly, do all addition and subtraction in order from left to right. Again, it doesn't matter which one comes first, you're going to do it from left to right. You may have been taught about PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It kind of follows that same rule where it's parentheses, exponents, multiplication, and division from left to right, and then addition and subtraction from left to right. So keep that in mind as you're working forward. Let's take a look at a sample problem. The order of operations basically states A times the quantity of B plus C is equal to A times the quantity of B plus A times the quantity of C. We're throwing a little bit of algebra in there, but these are the exact same problems here. They're going to equal the exact same thing. If I said A equals 2, B equals 4, and C equals 7, let's try it on the left-hand side here. Using my distributive property, I'm going to distribute the 2 to the 4 and the 7. Well, 4 and 7 have to come first, they're in parentheses. So 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 times 2 would be 22. Let's check this side. 2 times the quantity of 4 would be 8, plus 2 times 7, which is 14, which would be 22. So these two sides are exactly equal. They were just written different ways. That goes back to the distributive property that you learned previously in this investigation. Let's take a look at 3 problems here. They all involve using the same number, but they're written a little differently. Let's see if that changes how to solve it. Following the order of operations, I know that I have addition, multiplication, and subtraction in this problem. I know that multiplication has to come first, so I must multiply 5 times 6 first. 5 times 6 would become 30. I'm going to bring down everything else in the problem. Okay, now I have addition and subtraction left, and I know I have to do that from left to right. So 30 plus 3 would be 33. 33 minus 4 would be 29. And I've just solved that using the order of operations. Let's take a look at the next one. This one's written a little differently. I see that I still have addition, subtraction, and multiplication, but now there's a parentheses added in. How does that change the problem? You're right, I need to do this part first. So 3 plus 5 would be 8. I'm going to bring down the rest of the problem. Okay, now I'm left with multiplication and subtraction. Well, multiplication comes next. 8 times 6 would be 48. Minus 4 would be 44. So I use the same numbers in both these two problems, but you can see how it totally makes a difference when you put parentheses in here. This one equaled 29, whereas this one equaled 44. Let's take a look at one more example. Now there's 2 parentheses. So again, I have to solve what's inside the parentheses first. So 3 plus 5 would become 8. I'm going to keep my multiplication sign there. 6 minus 4 would be 2. Then 8 times 2 would be 16. Again, following those set of rules we started the program with. Keep that in mind as you're going through. If you forget them, write them down, or even think about the PEMDAS that I'm sure you've learned about in previous school years. All right, here comes the best part. Again, take out your paper, take out your pencil, and go ahead and pause this video. I want you guys to try these next 3 problems. Okay, when looking at these problems, in our first one, hopefully you noticed that we have our 2 parentheses. 3 plus 5 would be 8. 9 minus 4 would be 5, which leaves me with 8 times 5, which would be 40. Take a look at our second problem. Again, I have another parentheses. 8 minus 4 is 4. Bring down the rest of my problem. And this might be a real key to help you guys too. Don't try and solve it all at once. Write it step by step to organize it. Okay, now I'm left with multiplication and addition. So I have to do 4 times 4 first, which is 16. Bring it down. 6 plus 16 would become 22. And then lastly, I say I have division, multiplication, and subtraction. Well, if I'm going by PEMDAS, it says, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Doesn't it say multiplication should come before division? So I should multiply 7 times 4, right? Oh, you're right, I have to do it left to right, multiplication, division. Well, in this problem, division came first. So I have to do 14 divided by 7, which is 2. Bring down the rest of my problem. Multiplication and subtraction are left. 2 times 4 would become 8. 8 take away 5 becomes 3. So again, I followed the correct order of operations. If you don't, you may get a different answer. So again, I would review those steps that we went through, and hopefully you came up with the same answers that we did here. Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Lanier's Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.